Hello. Hey. Brother. This guy stinks. Everything is freaking closed, man. And the only thing that's open is Mickey D's. I don't want that. We're not even talking about that. Oh, good. Wow. Are you somewhat safe? Yeah. Let me just block this person real quick. How you doing? I don't know. Alright, I guess. Not too good. Man, I'm not doing too good. I'm not gonna lie. I was doing good and then... I mean, what can I do? Hello. Taco Bell's not open though. They closed already. I wish they was open. It's not even 12, it's 10. Hola. Oh yeah, I think Whataburger's still open all night. I don't know. I'm hungry. I just ate some fries. That's all I ate. I didn't even eat dinner today. Outstanding. My Taco Bell order, I get the $7 box. Because the $7 box has everything. I have to have it DoorDashed. And the only thing I think that really DoorDash is like Burger King. Oh no, wait. Not Burger King, I mean Mickey D's. I might get a patty melt, but I really didn't want that. I kind of wanted, not Chick-fil-A, my Cane's with the cane sauce. Yes, I am bored actually. I'm, you know, no. They can DoorDash anywhere. Well, I haven't eaten, but yes, I am bored. You are right. I'm just upset with myself. I'm just frustrated. I'm just hurting. It's all in the mindset. Anyways. Have I been drinking? No. Do I want to drink? Yes. A nice big bottle of something. Drink my life away. Wouldn't that be something? I'm just kidding. No, but I do have thoughts like that. I would never do that, but to be honest, I had thought like, oh, maybe if you just, yeah, I don't know. Why are you upset? Because I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I don't have freedom. That's why. No, it's okay. I'm not a fun person to be around anyway, so it's alright. It's scary. Do you hear that? Bro, do you have electronics to storage? Yeah, I just got paid. So I gotta pay My storage, oh man, it's like probably up to 300. So yeah, I gotta pay that. There goes all my money. Ooh, no concert. I wanted to go to that concert too. I'm not even gonna say what concert. I shouldn't even said anything. I got paid from Temu. No, I didn't get it paid yet. I just got paid. So tomorrow I'm gonna pay the storage. And then my phone bill is gonna come up soon. What's even in my storage? All kinds of signatures, man. I got, what's his name signature? Edward James Olmos. Like, yeah, I have signatures in storage. There's no way I'm losing that storage. It has my brother's stuff in it too. I'm not relinquishing any of that. Why don't you go live during the day? Because I have stuff to do during the day. I don't have freedom like everyone else. I wish I had freedom. I'd be out there in a car club somewhere. Like, I wanted, like, every time I see, like, a car show or something, I can't go. I'm restricted. I know my brother's dead. That's why I want his stuff. I don't have the money to bury him. I've already said that, so yeah. I don't have this, you know. That's a big ass plane. That's one low. The plane is not even supposed to be flying that low unless it's like 300 feet. Maybe. There's like, under residential areas, you have certain regulations of how low you can fly. In residential areas. Hello. How much was your house tax? Huh, funny. My dad was never caught with a sex worker. That's why the case got dismissed. Like, why are you bringing up old police records on people and worry about yourself? Because if you get arrested and someone pulls up your police record, it ain't gonna be funny. You could get arrested too. My mom is not in the hospital. I don't got electronics in my storage. I literally just have TVs. That's it. I don't bring up police records though. That's crazy. Do you ever wonder where your life will go? Probably 6 feet under. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't, like, when someone says think positively, I can't. Like, you know what really, I'm gonna be like Peter Griffin. You know what really grinds my gears? Is that we got some idiot that's a trillionaire, right? We got Elon Musk that's a trillionaire. All these rich people be hoarding all this money. What do they be doing with it? They could end homelessness, but they choose not to. We make the wrong people rich. For real. You be making people rich that be making AI that is used to make nudes of children with no clothes. That's disgusting. Like, I see the way the world is and it's messed up. And you got rich people out here that can just do whatever they want, go wherever they want. $50 million wedding? Bam. You know. Oh, new car? Mercedes? Bam. AAV1 black. So Why would I put my brother's ashes in storage? Why would I want my brother sitting in a storage unit? Does that sound logical to you? I'm not even gonna argue. Stop what? I just, I'm trying to see positively, but I'm tired. I'm tired of being told that I have to wait. I'm like, hello, me and my mom were a victim of a violent crime, and we can't even get housing. Like, bruh, I'm already beyond that. I just, like, given up. I've given up all hope. It's hopeless, right? Like, I need housing. I don't want to be stuck. Oh, you have to go here. You have to do this. You have to do that. I want freedom to be able to go to do what I want and not have to, like, oh, you got to be back by 10. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like, all these people make money off of us. They get rich and we get poor. I can't even afford a lawyer. And to be honest, I could look for a pro bono lawyer. But right now, I can't even do that to even clear my name. I lost out on millions of dollars because people doesn't want to see someone succeed or win. And I don't care what anyone says. That is the truth. They don't want to see people doing better than what they're doing. I don't care what anyone tries to tell me. I know what I know. You don't like to see anyone doing better than you. Like, let's be honest, standing in line for the university, what is that? That Creator University is dumb as heck, because you think just because you get your shot with Kai Cenat, that's gonna make you money. Being a streamer is not all about the money, and if you're going into it for the money, then you already are not a streamer. Streaming's not for everyone. You gotta get up in front of a camera and talk every day. There's a whole thing that you gotta do. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that goes into becoming a streamer. It's not just getting up there and making millions of dollars like Kai Cenat. If you're going into it for the money, then you ain't. I'm sorry. Everybody's going to streamer university because they hope they get that big break and they hope that they make all that money. You don't need Kai Cenat to make money. You can do it on your own. You just don't want to put yourself out there. You don't need someone like Kai Cenat to put you on the map. Put yourself on the map. You don't want to be known as, oh, the person that Kai Cenat gave an opportunity to. You don't want to be that person that's only known for streaming with Kai Cenat. Like, it doesn't make sense. You got grown adults out here. Like, man, don't even get me started on Adrian Broner. That dude is misogynistic to the bone. He's sleazy. I don't even know why they still allow him to be around people, women especially. He's a sleazeball. All he ever does is try to sleep with all the women, like, and he pushes himself on people. He drinks till he throws up. Like, I don't know. Some people need to just put the drink down and stop drinking so much. You don't need to have a good time. You don't need to have a good time or drink to have a good time. Like, he drinks excessively. And I'm not saying, like, it's fine to have one or two drinks, but, like, some people drink obsessively. Alcohol is a killer. Even one drink. Like, you're just killing your system at that point. Like, if I had the money right now, if I could. If I wanted to, I would walk somewhere and just drink my life away, because that's how I literally feel. Bruh, life is meaningless. Yeah, but I said I wouldn't do it, but I felt like that. I have felt like that. You know why? Because maybe people would want to be around me if I drank. Maybe that's why. Maybe I need to just do what everyone else is doing, right? I'm just kidding. No, don't listen to me. I'm just joking. I will never take up drugs, but I'm just saying, it is what it is. I don't have a heart condition. My heart is fine. How am I gonna get my money up? Like, okay, let me tell you something about you saying get your money up, right? it keeps like you're like, oh, get your money up. Hold on. Just anyways, like I said, right? There's a lot of money to be made on social media. I'm just frustrated that people be making money off of me. And when I say people, I talk about Ash Too Trippy. I'm talking about Jay. I'm talking about YouTubers. I'm like so sick and tired of people being like someone made, it wasn't even a joke. Someone said something in my comment section to the fact of like, ha ha ha, like they talk about her and they make money. Okay, but these T pages are literally talking about people's real lives, right? They're talking about people's real lives and what they are literally doing, right? Oh, oops, hold on. And they're making money off of talking about people's real lives. Like, okay, someone is going through something, but you're talking about their real life to make money. That's why everybody's going to be talking about Bunny and Jelly Roll's divorce. What does their divorce have anything to do with you? Some of y'all be too parasocial. You be in these T pages and it's crazy. Then you tell people to go get a job. Okay. Is that any way to be successful? Is to tell people to conform to the system? I'm not going to conform to any system, because if I go get a job, I'll end up like you, miserable and broke, because all my money will go to bills and then I won't have any money left. Why do you think there's only 1% of rich people? Because y'all let the rich people tell you what to do. The rich people are playing a game of Monopoly. They're playing a game of life. The rich people play the game with the poor people. That's why the system is the way that it is, because they're playing games with you, right? You're a chess piece to them. It's strategic. They're trying to find ways, how do we get the people to not think about anything else? Because you go to work, you do what you're supposed to do, you're trained like a robot, and then you don't even have time to sit down and even think about creating a business, think about being successful. You can't even get out of the rat race, the rut that you're in, because you're stuck to the system. I do not want to go make money for somebody that does not give two craps whether I live or pass away. And if something happens and I pass away, they're just gonna replace me with somebody else. Like, nah, I want to be financially free. I want to be able to take a trip. Let's tell my mom, hey, let's go here, you know, maybe make that trip to California, like my brother wanted to go to California and make that trip, you know. Like, nobody wants to go to work, but then you're telling people to go to work. Make that make sense. How are you going to tell me to go to work when you hate going to a job? You don't want to work. And then, oh no, somebody can't be more successful than me, because God forbid, if they make more money than me, I'm just going to bring them down. People hate to see people win. They don't want to see someone successful. They try to stop people. No matter how much I could fight, I ain't got no fight left in me, to be honest. I'm tired of fighting. I'm exhausted. People don't know how to leave people alone. They harass people all the time, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's been going on for 8 years, and y'all still ain't have anything new to say except get a job. You yourself don't want to get a job. And no, I'm not gonna harm myself, so don't call anyone to do no freaking welfare check. I don't need no welfare check. I'm just tired. I'm just frustrated. These rich people get rich and the poor people get poor. A black baby was unalived by police because they accused the mother of stealing diapers. No life is worth some box of diapers. Maybe, and she did pay for it, but even if she didn't, maybe in society we should be asking ourselves why a mom should have to steal a box of diapers because she can't afford diapers in the first place. That's something that should be asked, because why are we criminalizing people for not being able to afford to live? And the rich people sit there with their cameras like it's some telenovela, like it's some K-drama, and watch y'all literally destroy yourselves. It's a game to rich people. Trust me, there's a whole book on it. We read that book in class too. This guy, I forget what the book is called, and I looked it up, and then I forget the name of it, but he's a rich man, and instead of hunting animals, he hunts people. He sends one person, and he says, if you can survive my challenge, you make it alive. But if I catch you, you don't make it alive. And he like hunts people for like enjoyment. Like that book is not what someone just imagined. That's real life. That is real life. Yeah, that was a book we read in English class. That's real life. People just don't imagine this stuff up. One thing I really hate is how they try to tell us aliens this, aliens that. I don't care about aliens. We already know aliens exist. Tell us something we don't know. Putting all of these, I don't know what they want to build, all of these shit. I could say shit if I wanted to. Shit, I could say it. Like all of these crappy data centers that are going to pollute the water only for us to not have drinking water because the rich want to get rich. The one person that I really hate with all my heart, and I hate with my guts, and hate is a strong word, is Kevin O'Leary. I hate that guy. All he is about is making money and what's in it for him. Like, oh, I'll buy TikTok so that way I could save TikTok. No, you about it for the money. You took people's freedom of speech away. You can barely say anything on TikTok. God forbid you be yourself, and then people just come at you. Like, you can't be more successful than the next person because then they always talking down on you. And the ones that are successful, they get away with so much stuff. And I am gonna say it because I know some people don't believe it, but yeah, if you're rich, you could get away with a lot. Trust me, you can buy people's pockets. It's all about putting money in people's pockets. You put money in someone's pocket, you give them just enough change, you can get away with some serious stuff. I mean, hello, John Gotti. Yeah, he did get caught, right? But he was buying NYPD. You can't, like, he was buying the police. And he wasn't unaliving just random people, mind you, like the mob, you know, how they make the mob out. And I'm not justifying what he did, but I'm just saying he went after people that, you know, did some horrible things. And in no way, shape, or form am I glorifying that. But what I'm saying is like, he was buying the police. Like, if you watch the movie, he was literally buying the police. You don't have to smoke to know this. This is what I grew up with, my thought process. Like, you don't have to smoke. This is not just some crazy talk. Think about it. Do you even know why do they call it a graveyard shift? Why is it referred to a graveyard? You're not dead. So why are you working a dead shift? They're working you to death. Maybe you should think about the wordage and what people use. This is not just some crazy talk. Like the guy said, and it was a guy that said that, like, a graveyard shift is literally working you to death. If I had kids, I would be working 8 hours. I would have to get up, go work 8 hours, miss 8 hours of my child's life, to then come home and be tired, have to cook, clean, do all of that, and not even get to spend time with my child. It's so sad to see parents missing out on a lot of things when they just have babies too, like their first steps, their first words, all because they have to run to go to a job, because if they don't have a job, then they can't provide, while the rich people sit with their feet kicked up on their desk, not caring about anybody else. Like, I'm so sick and tired of struggling. I do not want to work a job. So I don't know why people sit here and tries to force me to be something I don't want to be. That's you. If I don't want to have a job and I want to do social media, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? How does that bother you? It bothers you because you don't want someone to be more successful than you. Who told you you couldn't be successful? Yourself. You told yourself you couldn't be successful. Because if you're trying to bring others down with you, Like I said, no one's gonna drag me down with him. If you grab onto me and try to drag me down with you, if we was on the Titanic, I would just push you off and be like, no, you going down. I don't have to go down with you. I could at least try to save myself. I don't know. It's just like everyone will be grabbing onto each other as they're going down and taking one person after another, and it's a chain reaction. Who told you that you needed to suffer? Why do you let people tell you what you need to do? Why do you let the government control you? You pay more taxes than a rich person pays. And they looking at you like you a game. Like they controlling you with a Nintendo controller. They controlling you with that PlayStation controller. It's a game to rich people to see people like this. It's a game. It's enjoyment to them. That's like the king back in the medieval days, or back in the days with the jesters, where they're like, bring this jester to me, stand him in front of me, and let him perform tricks and do jokes for me. That's exactly what everyone is. You're a jester to the rich people. Like, there's no other way to say it. You're literally standing in front of them doing a performance for them, and they're laughing. They could care less if you could barely afford to eat. They could care less if you could barely afford to pay your bills. I watched this couple, and this is why I love content creators that do that. Literally, he needed the money to go get some treatment in Mexico to cure him, to save his life from cancer. This guy came together, raised the money for him to go get his treatment, and $1 million freaking dollars. When has a rich person ever done that? No, they give their money away because they don't want to have to pay taxes. If you give your money away, that's a tax evasion. I don't have to suffer for my poor choices, though. Here's the thing. God does not sit here and tell someone they need to suffer constantly. If you want someone to continuously suffer, that's a you problem, and you need to go to therapy and talk to your therapist about why you want someone to continuously suffer. You need to let someone prosper. You have to get over that. You can't just be sitting here telling somebody that they need to constantly suffer. Why should I have to constantly suffer? I've already suffered enough trauma. I've already been through enough in my life where I need the soft life to just sit back and not have to worry about anything. I'll get it one way or another, even if I have to marry rich. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm not a gold digger. But to be honest, it's just frustrating because you want somebody to change, right? I'm going to therapy. I was going to therapy. I was doing all of this stuff to change, and that was still not good enough. And I don't need to sit here and do anything for anybody but myself. You just don't like the fact that someone could be more successful than you. I knew from a young age that I was always meant to have some sort of business and be rich. That's all I ever did when I was younger. I hustled. I didn't like, yeah, sometimes, my childhood or whatever, but me and my brother would go clean yards for money. I would sell snow cones. I would sell candy when I was in high school. I sold candy. I got in trouble. Everyone started selling candy because of me. I had people selling candy. I should have said, hey, you stole my idea, but I didn't even. But to be honest, yeah, I had people selling candy because of me. I started that movement. No joke. People started coming with monsters. People started coming with gum. It was crazy. I'm just saying. I'm not lying. That's the truth. Like, I'm being seriously honest. I ain't gonna lie. So Walmart used to sell this $24 box of candy, and my dad would buy it for me because I was selling candy at the time. I would take this drawstring backpack, and I had all my candy in it. I had Kit Kat. I think it came with Kit Kat, Reese's, M&M's. It came with all kinds of candy, right? I would take it to school and I started selling. Then everyone else started selling. People started bringing Monsters, gum, and then the school was like, you can't sell candy at school. So then that became a thing, and I had to stop selling candy. But yes, I used to sell candy. And then, snow cones. I got someone started on snow cones too. And I know the girl where she, me and my brother used to hang out with her brother, and she lived in the same neighborhood we did. And, not too long ago, like years ago, like, what is it, 24, 23? That's when we ran into her. But anyways, back then I was selling snow cones. My grandma gave me this. I bought a snow cone maker, one of those like little ones that are like colorful or whatever. So I bought one and I started selling snow cones. Then what happened is that that girl across the way, the one that we ran into recently, started selling snow cones. She tried to copy me, and the funny thing was she wasn't me, because they were like, we like your snow cones better because she puts too much snow cone juice. And I'm like, yeah, you can't outdo the outdoer, you can't outshine the outshiner. It's just funny because I put people onto this stuff because for me, I didn't have a normal childhood. My dad was crazy with his bipolar, so he would tell us, he would be like, if it isn't about making money, you couldn't do it. I didn't even go to prom. That was like $300 I didn't have, mind you. I probably could have went. I was in student government. I could have went. But my dad was like, it's not about making money. I almost didn't graduate because he said that it was BS and it was not about making money. He bought me a desk. He put it in my room from Goodwill. This was when we had the house. And he bought me this book, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I don't like the guy because he supports Trump. Anyways, it's this book which now I don't recommend people to read it because he's a Trump supporter, but it did have some lessons in it. He was like, my dad taught me at a young age finances, this and this. This is how I built up this business, and now I'm rich because when I was younger, blah, 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 and he goes into this whole thing about how he became financially rich or whatever the case may be, financially stable, whatever. But my dad made me read that book. I couldn't go outside and play. I had to read this book. I had to know, and then he would quiz us, like, who's the richest person in the world? Who's number one? Who's number two? Who's number three? If we didn't know that, then we got in trouble. Oh, Warren Buffett, what company does Warren Buffett have? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be. Carlos Slim Hulu, phone company in Mexico, millionaire, right? Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Bill Gates, Microsoft, Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway. I know that stuff, right? Because I had to. But, it was crazy because my dad, he was all about being rich. And he would talk crazy sometimes. Like, oh, you're going to have a bodyguard. You're going to ride to school in a limo. All this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to be like that kind of rich. If I'm rich, I would be humble. Some of these people do not know how to be humble. They got all this money and they're greedy. I mean, look at Mr. Beast is getting exposed. Like, okay, imagine making money off of doing like a giant, like, he is literally putting people in danger. He is putting people at risk, their life at risk, just to make millions of dollars. Like, he made like $80 million on YouTube. Because they were talking about people that make money on social media. It was like a posting on Facebook. The Danielle Bergoli, $50 million one day. The open of her OF, $50 million. When she first dropped her OF, one day, $50 million. That is wild. Who was it? Sophie? Was it Sophie Rain? I think they said Sophie Rain. Charlie D'Amelio, millions from TikTok sponsorships and stuff like that. Blah blah. Then it was like Sophie Rain. Then they mentioned Mr. Beast. He makes 80 million off of YouTube. Yeah, he makes quite a bit of money. Well, 80 million's a lot. 80 million's like, it's not even. It's not insanity. It's just, you have to think of it this way. It's not insanity to want to be financially stable. What's insane about that? Why would you not want to be rich like people and make money and help people? We make the wrong people rich. All they care about is these expensive cars, this flashy jewelry. There's no way you would catch me buying a car that's literally a house payment. That Cybertruck is $100,000. Those Hermes bags, $100,000. That's a house payment. You could buy it. You know how many houses rich people could buy for poor people, but they choose not to? Is insane. Well, actually, I don't pay $30. I pay $25. But who's talking? Like, let's really think about this. Why would you want to be mad that someone wants to be successful? Why are you mad if I have hopes and dreams of being successful? Why does that bother you? Wouldn't you want someone to be successful and prosper? Or are you trying to hold people down? I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck to this life, okay? I want to go enjoy things. I want to go out and do things with freedom without being stuck somewhere because I don't got a place to live. I want to have a house and be like, hey, maybe, that's what I want. If I would have had money, I could have had a cabin in Big Bear. My grandma's sister sold her cabin for $10,000. I could have had a cabin in Big Bear. I was like, ooh, if we had the money, I would have bought that. I would have snatched that cabin up. Well, I don't really hold myself down. Oh, that scared me. Sorry, it was good. Well, not gunshot, it was probably a firework, but, it was like a gunshot. That scared me. Anyways. Because you made the wrong... You just answered your own question. You said, if we make the wrong people rich, then why are you broke? Because you made the wrong people rich. Why are you broke? Because you made the wrong people rich. You just answered your own question. Like, look at Elon Musk. He's a trillionaire. Who gives a dang about space? Why are we spending billions of dollars to go to space? Literally. What is that, Blue Oracle? Who is that? Jeff Bezos that literally tried to send that rocket to space and it blew up? I do not care about space. When we could barely afford to live, what makes you think we care about what's out there on other planets? I could care less what's in space. Yes, I love space. I'm a space fanatic. Like, that's why I follow NASA. But I don't, you're spending taxpayers' money to go to space when you could be putting that into housing for people. This country is jacked. We're screwed. I don't need to know what's going on in space. That's where your money's going. To space. Well, you should. And they're not homeless bums. People work jobs. Do you know that? People work jobs to go sleep in a car. People work jobs to go sleep on the street. Having a job does not mean you get housing. People still work jobs and are homeless. You never know. The coworker you could be working next to could be sleeping at a homeless shelter. To call people homeless bums is really, really insensitive. Why don't you go out there and be homeless then and see what it's like to be homeless? You wouldn't be calling people homeless bums, considering most of these people don't even have IDs or don't even have the access or know where to go get an ID for free. It is so crazy that you sit here and call people homeless bums when jobs don't even hire homeless people. Let's make that 100%. How do they expect people to get off their feet and get off the streets if they don't even give someone a chance? You could be one away from being that homeless bum that you make fun of. Some of y'all ain't never been homeless to even, like, some of y'all need to be homeless in the streets, because that's very insensitive. You don't know what people are thinking. You don't know people's mindsets. Some of these people walk around with mental health issues, can't even get help. And you just call them a bum. Just because you got a house don't make you less than a bum. That's like hateful thinking. I would never talk down on homeless people because I know what it's like. It ain't easy. People battle mental problems. People in survival mode all the time. Always having to fight. Always having to, whatever the case may be. You don't know. People always have to fight. Mental, physical, and, mental and physical. They got trauma. They got things they deal with. I deal with major depression and PTSD. I'm trying to hang in there. But I'm just at my point where I'm so frustrated. I was a victim of a violent crime. Did I get any help? Yes, to an extent. Yeah, for my brother's service. And I'm thankful, but I couldn't even afford to bury him. I should have got a place to live. I'm over here fighting for like a whole year, and I'm so frustrated. People make it seem as easy as it is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Maybe so. I'm just frustrated. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. It's not even. Rich people get rich and the poor get poor. Well, now I got more than most because I got like $800, but I gotta pay bills and I gotta save for storage because I gotta keep the storage paid up until I get some money coming in to continue to keep paying it. What does living in a shelter have to do with anything? Who said I was ungrateful? Did I say I was ungrateful? The thing to me is hoarding, money hoarding, especially hoarding, like, okay, you guys saw the issues that people had with that $40,000 haul, Chanel haul, that Michaela Nogueira posted, right? That is very insensitive in a world, in a time where people can't even afford to live. And you're trying to resonate with us. How am I going to resonate with someone that does beauty and skincare when you're living a lavish life that I cannot live? That's not going to resonate with people. People are not going to connect with you because who's going to relate to you when you're spending $40,000 that people don't even have the ability to spend. Some of these people need to realize who their audience is when they're putting that out there to their audience, right? You're over here literally showing people a $40,000 haul. They're not going to feel connected to you because they don't got money like that. That's why people are calling her out like, oh, it's very insensitive. I didn't watch. People made a video. All I noticed is, anyways, I just need to worry about what I got going on. And try to, yeah. It's not hating because people don't hate because they can't afford a lifestyle. Use your brain. Why should a black baby be unalived because the mother was racially profiled for stealing diapers, and instead of criminalizing someone, which she did have a receipt that she paid for the diapers, but if she didn't, why aren't we as a society, why aren't rich people sitting there saying, what can we do to help people earn a living wage? What can we do to help people so they don't have to go steal food or get arrested for stealing food because they're starving? What can we do to help feed the people? And I'm not talking about food banks or any of that, okay? Because yes, food banks are good. Hello, like, if you're not helping the people with money, then what are you doing with it? Let's be honest. Elon Musk is not taking $1 trillion with him to the grave. You can't take your money with you when you pass away, so what are you doing with it? You're just being a money hoarder. And instead of criminalizing people for stealing the necessities, why can't they just say, what can we do to make it so that people can earn a living wage and not raise the minimum wage just by $3? $3 does not make a difference. Are you kidding me? Like, oh, New Mexico is raising minimum wage to $15 from $13 to $15. Like, bruh. What is today? Thursday? Oh, I don't know. It's not even Friday yet. I was about to say they at Sonic right now. You'll regret it forever if you don't work for a better tomorrow. Like I said, working for a better tomorrow, what I see working for a better tomorrow is not working for someone. So you need to get that out of your brain. I'm not going to go work for someone, so you need to try harder. Okay, get over that. I don't want to go work for someone. Next. Why are you trying to tell me what I need to do? I don't need to do anything. I don't want to work for someone. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. The thing is like, I'm trying to work on my digital art. That's one thing. I can't afford an iPad. It's too expensive. Maybe I could find a cheap iPad now since I got money, but I don't know. I can't spend a lot of money because I gotta save that money to keep the storage paid up. But to be honest with you, I ain't doing art commissions because I'm not at that level to do art commissions. You know what I mean? I still gotta work at that. And I don't even want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to do art commissions. I want to have a restaurant. A chain of restaurants. My restaurant, a percentage of it is going to go towards stopping gun violence. Like, hello. I already said my plans. I want to have a clothing company. You know what is crazy? TikTok is being bought by a conglomerate. A monopolizer, if you will. I hate monopolies. I really do. I hate companies that try to buy all the companies and own one company. That's greed. Why do you need to own more than one company? Do you know how much it costs to run a restaurant? And not only that, it's not just running a restaurant. You have to follow what is it? There's something that you have to take a test, basically, and you have to follow house code regulations. Everything has to be up to house code. So if I buy a building, then I would have to, if it's a building that was already a restaurant, I have to see what the issues are. Fix those issues before I could even run a restaurant. Not only that, you have to buy things in bulk, and that's not cheap. My brother's boss was getting stuff from Cisco. That's expensive. The lights are expensive to run lights, to run electricity, to run everything. Running a restaurant is not cheap. You could buy a place for $10K, maybe even $100K if you run it right. And then you have to hire people and you have to pay people. It's not just like a thing that you can just do it overnight. I mean, I could try to raise the money from GoFundMe, but it's just going to get taken down. I already know, some stuff about restaurants because I was in DECA. I did DECA. I was really trying. I took some. I didn't really take business classes, to be honest. I was going to school for business in college, But I didn't take any business classes because I only went for a semester. So the classes I took was like math. I had to take this freshman class. I took dance aerobics, and I changed from that to wall ball. I think it was pickleball. No, it wasn't pickleball. It's like it's an indoor. Like there's like you hit it against the wall, and it's like indoor. I forget what it was. Anyways, I had to take that class, and then I took a health class, and that's all I took. I didn't take any business classes because I only went for a semester my freshman year, UNM. Yeah, you know why social media isn't a job and why I'm not getting paid? I am getting paid to an extent, but I'm not making the money that I used to because I haven't been able to fully get into my TikTok and make actual videos. I've always ended up in places where I can't post. I can't do social media, and I have to be careful with what I do with my surroundings so I'm not trying to dox people. When I get a place, then hey, I'll be making videos, but I haven't been able to focus on that. Like, I want to start doing, like, my mom found a bunch of restaurants, and I was like, hey, go do some restaurant reviews here and there. Those did pretty good. Oh, and I think TikTok's bringing back subscriptions, so I hope they do, because it's just something about subscriptions, get more subscriptions. Like, and I'm like, I did well with subscriptions. I made $3,000. I could invest that into, like, stocks and I'm just gonna say that, I'm Tophiachu and give me a free place. Like, why would you ask a question like that? Like, how do you expect to pay housing? If I'm trying to get housing, then I have a way to pay housing. So why are you asking? Like, why do you even need to know that? You don't need to know that. I didn't make $3,000 in 3 years. Actually, I made $3,000. Well, yeah, it was like 2 years ago. That's when we went. That's the last time we went to Comic-Con with my brother. That's Comic-Con. Oh, I need it. It reminds me. I do not want to work for someone. How hard is it for you to understand? I don't need to work for somebody. Why do I need to go stress myself out at a job? Ugh. I'm not using that $800 to pay rent, because then I gotta pay my storage. I'm not gonna fall behind on my storage. I don't have anyone to pay to help me move my storage. So no, I can pay 1 month, but I can't pay the next month because this was the last payment from Temu. We're done. I finished everything that I had to do. I made all the videos. This was the last payment from Temu. After this, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. We already figured out what I'm gonna do. Bruh. I won't have enough money for a place to live. That's what I'm telling you. You have to make 3 times the rent. I am not going... There's no way I'm making 3 times the rent. That's scary. Sorry. I was like, what the fuck? Just like, yeah. Okay, anyways, let's talk about something else that I wanted to talk about. This disgusting and sick and super. This guy, I don't know, what does this guy think? And spare me with the, I don't know, he's from another country, right? And I started getting these messages on Facebook. I got messages from 2 of them. One of them was like, you're beautiful, or I don't know what the heck he said. Hi, how are you? Saying you're beautiful, this junk, yada, yada, yada. And I was just like, you. But that wasn't even the you part So this guy, it's 11:11. Make a wish. Sorry, I'm gonna make a wish real quick. Okay. Anyways, this guy has the nerve to send me straight up porn videos, like screenshots, and not even say anything. I think he said hi beautiful, and then I didn't respond because I didn't see the message. And then I started getting a bunch of notifications one after another, just like, I'm like, yeah. There's just like, I didn't enjoy that. That was like gross because I'm like, what is wrong? This is why. That's why I don't want to date a man. I don't know why people assume who I want to date. It's funny. I don't do that stuff. To be honest with you, that's not how you talk to women. Like, okay, you're showing me these videos for what? And I know why he showed it to me, because when I was 16, a guy showed me that. And he literally got taken down because this other girl was like, yeah, I met this. Okay, so I had IMVU when I was 16, right? IMVU it has millions more people than it was popping when I was in high school, right? So I had made this account and I was on there, and so I had made friends with this girl, you know. I don't remember if she lived in another country, but we became friends on Facebook. And this guy started sending me some inappropriate videos and stuff and being like, this is what I want you to do to me. He would make really weird comments on my photos because my brother took of that photo of me in that striped shirt. My brother took that and he was like, it was kind of a little low, and then he had made a comment about my boobs. And then that's when I just started to want to cover up because I'm 16 and this grown guy is talking to me like this on Facebook. So she reached out to me and she was like, yeah, he had messaged me too. So I was like, we need to report his account. When we went to report it, it got taken down. But that's what they think. I think he was sending that like, hey, this is what I want to do to you. It's like gross. Like, that's not how you talk to women. That's not going to get you a girlfriend or want someone to sleep with you. Maybe someone else might. Maybe someone else might sleep with you, but I don't do that. I don't do any of that sleeping. I don't sleep with people. I will never understand it. I mean, I'm not knocking it, you know, in a sense of like, if you want to sleep around, hey. But not me. I do not want to catch nothing. You sleep with the wrong person, you sleep around, you get that one person that doesn't disclose anything, and then you get what you get. Like, and I'm not saying you get what you get in the sense of like, I'm not trying to be rude, but you catch something because, you know, like, some people gotta really take care of themselves and really wear protection. Don't just not be doing it with no protection. And I said 21 plus because, like, yeah, men will really be passing it on to you, like chlamydia boy. Chlamydia boy be spreading that chlamydia everywhere. He goes by the name Reed Choi, the chlamydia boy. I'm just saying. Like, if you never heard of Reed Choi, look him up. He's like this influencer that used to date Gina Darling, and he knowingly gave her chlamydia. She didn't know, and if she had not found out and a week would have passed, she would have became infertile, which means she would have not been able to have a baby. Isn't that crazy? Like, men out here, and they know, like, people are out here knowingly spreading STDs and not, like, telling people, like, disclose that stuff. Man, I don't know what to even say to that. That's why I don't sleep around. I could, like, I said, like, oh, well, if no one's gonna love me, then maybe that's what I should do. Because that's the only way for me to think like, oh, that's the only way I'll ever be loved, because that's what was literally, you know, oh, hey, let's go back to my place. Like, what? Okay, Mr. Predator. You know how young I was at times, and you're telling me to go back with you to go have a drink or to go to your place? One guy I didn't even know literally wanted me to go sleep at his apartment, and I'm like, are you crazy? That's when we went to go see Ouija. I remember that. My friend. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what happened. He asked me out on a date, but I didn't know it was a date. So I invited my friend. I said, oh, well, when my friend was alive, I invited her to go. I was like, oh, well, let me see what she's doing. And I said, come. And then I told her, come on, he's taking us to the movies. Like, man, he went to the Iraq War. He was a veteran, and he was as old as my dad. And how old was I? I was like in my teens, I think. 19, 20, 19. Anyways, so he was just like, oh. So then I said, well, I'm waiting for my friend to show up. And then she came with her daughter, and then her mom was coming, because I remember we were sitting in the movie theater watching Ouija, and there's that scene where she was at the sink, and her mom just shouts out of nowhere, hurry up and die. And I just cracked up laughing. But anyways, so I'll tell you why. So then we're leaving because the movie's over, and I'm walking behind with him, and she's walking up front. And he looks at me, and he's like, well, maybe next time we could come to the movies, just us. And I was like, and then that's when it clicked to me. That's what he wanted. And I was like, oh, heck no. So then her daughter got hungry, and he was nice enough. He said, do you guys want Taco Bell? I can get you. So we stopped at Taco Bell, and it was getting pretty late. So I called my mom, and I was like, well, I said, I'm going to go spend the night at my friend's. I said, it's late, and we'll just go over to her apartment and, you know, go sleep or whatever. So then after I talked to my mom, I get off the phone, and he's like, oh, you could come stay with me. And my friend jumped in. She was like, oh, no, she's coming with me. Oh, she's going to stay at my place. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay at her place. Like, and this guy had money. Well, because he was a veteran, I think he was getting, like, pension and stuff. I've been offered some things. Like, one guy, I don't know if it was, I think it might have been him. I didn't have my driver's license at the time. And this guy, he pulled out a wad of cash, and he's like, if you get your driver's license and you knew how to drive, I'll pay you $2,000 to just drive me around. I was like, $2,000 to drive you around? I'll be driving Miss Daisy for $2,000. Like, yeah, he was like, I'll literally pay you to drive me around. I was like, $2,000? Okay. Just pulled out a wad of cash like it was nothing out of his pocket. I was like, bruh. Like, yeah, and that guy, right? He was just like, he was just weird. Like, why would I want to go to your place? I don't even know you, and you're trying. And yeah, he was trying to get with me in that sense, because so I get a text, right? I get up because I needed to go get a spoon, because, you know, at the time, that's when Taco Bell was still selling their taco salads. So then I get a text from my friend's daughter saying, like, oh, he's looking at your butt. So then I made a joke, and I was walking like I was James Bond, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm James Bond. And then they just laughed because they knew what I was talking about. It was just like a joke, but I was like, ew, like, and he followed me. Like, I don't know, like, he didn't even live in that area, but the old apartment we lived in, like, I seen him shopping at that Walmart. Maybe he might have moved, but I don't think he lived in that area. I don't even know. It's not past my bedtime. I'm gonna stay up as late as I want to. What news stories do you want to hear? I don't have any interesting news stories. Like, I don't have anything interesting. And you know what someone said? Like, oh, I know HIPAA violation only pertains to people that work in the medical field sharing medical information. You don't need to tell me that, but the place that I'm at, I cannot share people's information like that, nor am I going to share it. But I did have a situation recently that I was dealing with S, and I'm not even going to explain what happened with her. And she's not mad at me or not talking to me because of some reasons. And hey, you know, I really don't want to converse with anyone from there except a few people. That's it. That's all. A slight few. I know it isn't HIPAA, but for me, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not going to share someone's medical history. Like, I know I can, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to share what was going on. It had nothing to do with me. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, I just said that. It's strictly for medical field professionals, but you know what I mean. I didn't say rape. Where did you get that from? S is not who I was talking about, and I'm not talking about that. So why are we on that subject? Did I even mention that? I didn't mention that. So stop saying that's who I was saying that. You don't even know who I was talking about. And to be honest, I'm not even talking about that. So, yeah. I hate when people try to spread misinformation. Nowhere was I talking about S. I was not talking about her. She didn't do anything to me. So why do you keep saying that? Stop. Like, it's so annoying. Oh, well, that was not for her, so I didn't give those to her, so I didn't like her like that, so I don't know why people keep saying that. I never liked her like that. We were just friends. That's it. That is all. I'm not even talking about that. I cannot talk about that, so I confirm nor deny. I am not talking about that. I cannot talk about that anymore, so let's talk about something else. Who do you like then? Bob the Builder. Can he fix it? Yes, he can. I don't like anyone. I do not like anyone. Why? Because I can't like anyone, so yeah. There's that. So, can we not talk about that? Please. Salt and vinegar chips are nasty, and I've tried those. I don't think I could eat McDonald's. Because I'm homeless? What does being homeless have anything to do with that? Look, I'm not in the mood to talk about this stuff. Maybe I choose not to be with someone. Or maybe people are going to say, oh, maybe they choose not to be with you. Okay. Well, that's your perception. I'm not even talking about anybody. I'm not even going to get into it because I can't. And also because I'm not. Like, I'm not even in the mood to go there. So, That's a funny username. Where's that username at? Cause, bro. You are unloved. Yes, I am very much unloved. That's how I feel. I feel unloved, to be honest with you. I am not good enough. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm replaceable. I feel like I feel unloved. I feel not good enough. I feel like I'm somebody's last choice. I do feel like that. You know why? Because I don't have freedom, right? I'm homeless. I'm not cool. I'm not, like, who wants to sit and talk with someone for hours on the phone when they could do something better than talking to someone on the phone? Yeah, when I have freedom, I could go out and do things, but hey, maybe if I did some fun drugs, then I'd be a good person to be around. I shouldn't say that. I'm just joking. I'm not trying to make jokes. To be honest with you, yeah, that's how I do feel. I feel like I'm being pushed in society to do things because it's fun. Oh, like, yeah, I do have thoughts about wanting to drink my life away. Maybe if I was drunk, I'd be cooler. I don't know what I'm like when I'm really, really drunk. I've only had one drink, Maybe if I drink my life away, Party. Let's go. Let's get like a gigantic bottle and just drink it all. Yeah, I do feel some type of way. I feel like a failure because I don't have a place to live. I'm restricted. I don't have freedom. Everyone else can go do things. I didn't do things in my 20s. When people were in their 20s going to the club, I was in my 20s hanging out with my family trying to survive from being homeless and facing trauma. I didn't get to go out and do all these cool things or do what everyone else was doing. Go to these house parties when I was a teenager and sneak out. I didn't do any of that. I was restricted. I didn't get to do whatever I wanted. If I did something, I probably would have not lived to tell the story. I didn't do none of that stuff because I didn't get to. I had strict parents. If I did something I wasn't supposed to do, and my parents had the talk with me, and the talk, the birds and the bees talk. Yes, because I found this. Okay. I'm laughing about this. Someone wrote a love note to somebody asking them out to the movies, right? I found the note and I took it with me. I brought it home. So I had it in my pocket, and my mom went to go wash and she found the note. I was so embarrassed because it wasn't because she found the note. Then they assumed I had a boyfriend and that someone asked me to the movies. And I'm like, that's not even my handwriting. So I just went with it. I was just like, yeah. I said I had a boyfriend. I lied. I didn't have one. But I was just like, I didn't want to say I didn't have one because I was so embarrassed. I was like, I don't. So then they had the talk with me and they were like, well, it's okay, but make sure you're not. And I was like, oh no, what did I just get myself into? And yeah, I lied. I didn't have a boyfriend. I just didn't, because I was too embarrassed to say that I didn't have one. Like, I never dated in school. That was embarrassing, like, Well, I was super embarrassed. They found this note. They thought it was written to me, or I had written it to someone. I just couldn't, like, I was too embarrassed to say, hey, that's not mine. I don't know. I'm just depressed, and I need freedom before it's too late. Yeah, I'm still single because I'm an unlovable person. I already said I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for anybody. It's not because I don't love myself. That's just how I feel. I don't need people to be like, oh, you need to love. No, no. I'm not good enough. Do I need I say more? Like, okay. It has nothing to do with me being problematic. I don't have freedom. I can't go anywhere like other people can. If I wanted to go have a drink, I can't do that. If I wanted to go to a club, like right now, let's say I decided, hey, I want to go to the library. I can't go to the library. I don't have freedom until I have my own place. I just want to be 6 feet. Like, and no, I'm not going to harm myself. And no, nobody needs to call for no welfare check. Please don't call for no welfare check. That's just, I see the way people are. Someone literally had the nerve to call somebody a bum because I shared their video because they said that they're in and out of the hospital to the point where they can't work and their health problems are getting worse. And then someone was like, why did you post that bum? They were just literally asking for help to raise money for their GoFundMe to pay to stay in their house because they're about to be evicted, and you called them a bum even though they explained why they couldn't work and why they haven't been able to do Lyft. That does not make sense. Like, I am an empath, and when I see somebody struggling and I can't help them, it's like, it's like F-U-C-K. Somebody responded to a video that I shared of someone that I follow that was asking for help. I don't know. I see all these rich people and I see all these issues and I can't solve them because I don't got money. Just imagine if I bought someone a house, how their face would light up or be happy and be like, hey, I bought you a house. Like, I did this for you. I just feel useless. I feel like I haven't been able to help myself. I didn't help others. They helped themselves. I feel like I've never been good enough. I feel unloved. I feel all of these things because that's what my brain is telling me. I'm not good enough. I'm not the cool person to be hanging out with. I got no freedom. Nobody wants to sit for hours talking to someone on the phone when they can go party. And here I am stuck here. I can't go party. All I can do is just go to bed. My brain. I am ugly. I am not good enough. I am unworthy of anything. That's literally what I tell myself because when you say that stuff to yourself, you believe it and it becomes true. And I'm trying to work on that, but look, I'm a failure. I am not where I need to be in life. I'm not rich. I'm poor, ugly, fat, disgusting. Well, I'm not fat, actually, because fat is a greasy substance. I'm not a greasy substance, but in a sense, the way everyone uses fat, then yes, I am fat. Like, I tell myself this stuff, and you know why? Because nobody loves me. I'm not good enough for someone to be like, hey, I love you. I'm good enough to leave. I'm good enough to not be loved. I'm good enough. Yeah. And I tell myself that. So, yeah. Well, no, fat's a greasy substance, and I'm not a greasy substance. So, yeah, I tell myself these things. I don't choose to be poor. Yeah, because someone said this, and I'm going to use it. They were like, a fat person never turns down food. Yeah, a fat person never turns down food. Speaking of which, I need to figure out what I'm going to order. I didn't eat dinner. I had some fries, but that's it. Or maybe I might not eat. I might just go to bed and just order something tomorrow. No, I haven't watched the Backrooms yet. There's some stuff I gotta watch. I haven't eaten anything. How about you save up? No, or never mind, I'm not even gonna say that. I do not want to work for someone else. Anyways, I don't need someone to call a welfare check, so I don't even want to harm myself. That's all I'm gonna say. I just feel defeated. Like, when someone tells me something like, oh, I'm hanging out, having a good time, here I am stuck, and I can't go anywhere. I wish, because look, it is a perfect night to be swimming. If I had my own pool, I would be swimming right now. Well, yeah, that's why it's better that people don't gift people and they just send it to their PayPal, Cash App, whatever. But I'm not going to sit there and tell people to Cash App me. You do it because you want to, and I don't even have Cash App. I only have PayPal, so I don't care if I could swim. At least if I had a place with a movie theater and everything, I'd be the cool person. I wouldn't be poor broke Tophia. That's just how it is. Unloved, unworthy. I'm stupid. I haven't even figured out the sauce to make money. I'm unworthy. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I just tell myself this stuff. You got money, man. Well, no, actually, TikTok, you work for yourself because you're self-employed. So I don't work for a company. I work for myself because any money I make from TikTok, I have to pay taxes on that. You do know that, right? So they told me to talk to them about my taxes because of the carjacking and what happened. I could get my taxes waived so I wouldn't have to pay it. But to be honest, when you're self-employed, you gotta pay taxes. I'm a self-employed person, so any money I make from TikTok, I have to pay taxes on that, and I haven't made enough for the taxes. So it's usually over, I don't know what the amount is, but yeah. No, I don't work for TikTok. I work for myself. TikTok has rules and guidelines in place that people have to follow. But if I'm being 100% honest, TikTok does not, yeah, I work for myself. When I go to file taxes, I have to file under self-employed. I gotta pay taxes. When you work for TikTok, you're self-employed. When you work for YouTube, you're self-employed. Man, hold on. Mi madre. She's funny. Sorry, I saw a message from my mom. Anyways. I just don't feel good enough, and that's my decision, and it's not because of anybody else, it's not because of rejection, that's how I feel. I don't need anyone to put a name to it. Well, I'm not naming anyone or saying anyone. That's just if I'm not good enough for someone to and I'm not saying stick around. I don't know how to say it. I don't even know. Like, to be honest with you, if people fall out of love with me, then I'm not good enough. I'm ugly. I'm undeserving. I'm unloved. I'm unworthy. And I tell myself that. And I don't need someone to be like, you need to stop talking to yourself like that. No, that's not going to make me feel better. You don't live in my brain. Like, my depression, and I get it. And I'm tired of hearing that too. Everyone's going through something. Like, I'm so sick of that already. I'm not even talking about anyone. You can have an idea of whoever you want. I'm not even talking about anybody. I don't put a name to it. If I put a name to it, then I'm talking about someone. But I don't talk about someone and not name them, so let's not do that. Sympathy, babe. I could care less about sympathy. I've always felt that way. I've never been in a relationship with anyone. I've never been with anyone, and anytime it gets close to anything, then it ends up turning to be nothing. So why even bother? Why even believe in something that isn't going to happen? I don't believe in love anymore. I don't. Like, you guys bring up Wesley, and I don't understand why you keep bringing him up. And say, oh, he was just being... No, he was not just being friendly. You don't constantly tell someone, when am I going to see you? When am I going to see you? Like, okay, I get it if you're friends with someone, right? But if I was telling someone, when am I going to see you? That is not friendly. I'm just going to put that out there. Personal. Like, why are you sitting here questioning me? That's crazy. What is going on? Did it freeze? I think it froze. No, because I see the likes. Or unless that's me. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, it froze. The freaking chat froze. You know, I try to think positive, I try to see positive, but it just ain't happening. Not for me anyways. It'll never... in love anymore, so yeah. To be honest with you, yes, I could go look for someone, but I don't. And I'm not going to even explain why. Well, it's not that I'm not even going to explain, because I don't want to, and because I was advised not to, so I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, that's how I feel. No, he's not dead. Why would you say that? I just don't believe in it. I just really don't. When someone says they love me, they never really meant it. It was a lie. You know, like when Wesley would say certain things like, oh, yeah, anything to get, and to literally say, oh, it was to take your money. I never gave him any money. I never gifted him. I never sent him any money. I never did anything. He just naturally just liked me because I was me. Saying all these things, doing all these things. Then, yes, he left social media, and it wasn't because of me. I didn't cause him to leave social media. I'm just so tired of the BS. I just don't even... And this, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about TikTok. You know, maybe, yes, one time in real life, but, like, on TikTok, like, I'm so tired. I'm so done. Like, I don't know. I just don't believe in it anymore, and that's all. You know, I just really don't believe in it. I didn't send him money. That was someone else. that I sent $5 to. It was $5 freaking. Like, I'm so tired. I'm like so done. I just, I'm over it. Like, why? You don't have to be in a relationship to have value. If I'm alone forever, then so be it. I just don't even want to go that route. And besides, I don't trust anyone anymore. I will never trust anyone anymore. If someone says they love me, I ain't gonna believe it. No, you gonna lie to me. Then you're gonna tell me, then you're gonna have me get close to you, and then you're gonna push me onto the floor. You're gonna shove me and tell me get away. Like, why am I gonna believe that when that's all I've known? That wasn't Wesley, that was someone else. Like, that's all I know. So, like, why would I care? That makes people go heartless, because they get hurt so many times that they turn heartless. Weight has nothing to do with it. I don't want to. I just want to give up. I just am tired. I'm done. I'm exhausted. Like, look. And I get it. Like, conventionally attractive people do have some issues. But they don't have issues when it comes to dating. They don't have to. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't go through some untrustworthy people. But I'm not going to trust anyone anymore. I'm just, What? I don't want that's not even what I'm talking about. Like, do people really listen, or do they? Because you're not listening. Who said anything about moving in with anyone? I never said that. That's not what I'm even talking about. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to date anyone. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in love. I'm not going to do that. I gave up. I'm done. It is what it is. You keep repeating that, and you're just going to get blocked. In no way, shape, or form did I say anything about that, so go preach to someone else. Who said I wanted to sleep with anyone? Why does everyone want to sleep? What is this, like, sleep? Can we stop trying to sleep with everybody? I already said why. Because I feel abandoned. Anytime someone shows any feelings towards me, they just end up leaving. I'm not good enough for people to stay around. I just literally said that. Why do I have to keep explaining something to people? I shouldn't have to explain it. If you didn't hear it the first time, you never gonna hear it. It is what it is. When someone tells me something, I'm not gonna believe it. I don't trust anyone. Well, yeah. And also because, like, I'm new to this thing, so I probably want to go on dates with women, not men, to be honest. Like, I am content with myself. I don't need someone to say, oh, you need to love yourself first. I'm so sick and tired of that. I'm myself. I'm always myself around people. Being myself doesn't get me anybody. Maybe I should pretend to be someone else, because if I pretend to be someone else, maybe someone will like me for pretending. Nobody likes me when I'm myself, so maybe if I pretend to be someone else, that'll work. I'm just saying. I am working on myself. I have worked on myself. Like I said, and this has nothing, I'm talking about online. I'm not talking about in real life, okay? Well, in general. You know what I mean? Like, I just believe that. And this is not to make anyone feel bad. And I'm going to state this. This is not to make anyone feel bad. This is not to hurt anybody. This is not to sit here and, say, poor me. Oh, and I don't want people to say, oh, you're just upset because they don't like you and blah, blah, blah. I'm not naming people. I'm not talking about a specific person. If someone doesn't like me, cool. You don't like me, you don't like me like that. Okay, I'm not going to be upset over that. Maybe a little bit, but not to that extent. Like, I just don't believe in it anymore. It's BS. It's lies. People just tell you what you want to hear. But I'm gonna go because I need to go figure out. I need to go eat something. I didn't take 7 Tylenol to manipulate someone. I took 7 Tylenol because I didn't feel like I wanted to be here. That has nothing to do with whether someone liked me or not. That was not manipulating someone into liking me. Maybe you should know the difference. Yes, it was because of a message, but it was because of other people too. And to put solely blame on someone else is crazy, considering the fact that you tell someone to harm themselves. What do you think they're going to do? And then you don't want to take accountability for that. I need to go figure out what I'm going to eat if I'm going to order anything, because I think it's just McDonald's right now. And I really don't want McDonald's. It just bothers me because people think I haven't done anything. And I'm not talking about a situation, like I said. I'm not talking about that anymore. Okay, so let's not talk about that. I was advised not to talk about it, so I'm not. What triggered the 7 Tylenol was the bullying, was the not feeling good enough, was the feeling unloved, was feeling abandoned, was feeling like I had nobody in my life because the only person I had was my mom, and we were stuck at a shelter. I felt like I was a failure. That's what triggered that, because people was telling me I was not good enough, and because I believed it, I said, oh, well, then I'm not good enough to be here, because people literally sit here and I don't know, it's just a whole plethora of things. Literally sitting here and literally saying, well, we don't want you to do that, but then that's essentially what you're doing. You prevent me from being successful because you don't want me to be more successful than you. I'm not hurting anybody by doing lip sync videos. I'm definitely not hurting anybody by speaking up about real world issues. If you don't want to talk about ICE, then cool. Don't talk about ICE. But that's what's going on in the world. And if you don't want to talk about these real world things, then these are real world things that are affecting people. We can't just ignore these things. Yeah, I wish I could just be happy roses and rainbows and not talk about this stuff and be positive. But sometimes we can't. Nobody posts anything. Nobody does anything. Everyone wants me to be positive, right? And someone's like, well, you need to be more positive. No, I can't. You can go out. You can do all those things. You have freedom. I don't have freedom. I can't just get up one day, wake up and say, hey, let me go take a trip. Let me go somewhere. No, I have to fight my brain every day. I have to wake up and tell myself that I'm worthy, because why isn't, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not. I'm not even going to get into it. It's not about ignoring people. It's about things that people do to you in your life that affects you, and then they don't see where it affects you. And then people act like everything's okay when it's not okay. That's my problem, especially with people online. Do they not see how they affect you when they make you feel like you're wanted, like you're worthy, like you're loved, and then they push you away and treat you as if you're the nobody? You guys keep bringing up these old people from the past that literally have hurt me in some way, shape, or form. That's like, how are you going to trust someone when they act like they show you what love is, but it's not really what love is? You'd be hurt too. You'd want to give up too. I'm tired. I just can't do it anymore. I'm not talking about a she, I'm talking about a he. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm talking about someone, and then I'll say I'm talking about someone, but I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about Wesley. I'm talking about when people keep bringing up Wesley. What does Wesley have anything to do with anything? He left social media on his own. It had nothing to do with me. I don't know why you just think I just stalk people all the time. I'm not a stalker. I don't do that. I'm not S-baiting. I never said anything about that. Because, you know why? And it's not just Wesley, it's Jonathan. Let's get into it, right? Like that whole thing. And I hate when people fish for compliments. That literally annoys me. To sit here and be like, oh, nobody loves me and I'm going to be single forever. When I literally said I was in love with him. And he liked the comment. And then, you're sitting there being like, no one loves me. Then you're doing these stupid little things that literally, like calling me bae. He literally called me bae. And I didn't even know him like that. And just doing little things. And it wasn't even just things that people would consider friendly. He knew what he was doing. And he did those things under the pretenses of knowing he was never going to have a relationship with me. And that is messed up to do to someone just like Wesley. When am I going to see you? When am I going to see you? When am I going to meet you? It was that whole type of thing of like making me feel like something was going to happen. And then it didn't. Like, I'm so tired of that. I'm so done. That's what it's really about, because I'm so sick and tired. You know, I'm done. I'm not here to play games with anyone. Okay? I'm not here for you to figure out that all of a sudden you don't love me anymore. Like, bruh. And this is not towards a recent issue. I'm talking about online stuff, well, in general. You know what I mean? Because I don't want people to start labeling things. But I'm tired, okay? Like, I'm so sick and tired of people playing the damn games. Like, I'm sick of it. If you really don't love someone, then tell them you don't love them instead of just disappearing off social media or doing certain things, right? You tell someone all of this and then you just leave them with those feelings. And you don't even have a conversation. Like, I get it. Men don't like to have these conversations, but they should. They're over here leaving this destruction. These girls were jealous. They were jealous of me. Because anytime he would give me some sort of attention or just even acknowledge me on the live and they didn't get acknowledged, I got jumped in group chats. Like, literally not physically, but in the group chat, they would dogpile on me and say horrible things to me. Oh, you're a stalker. All because they were jealous at the fact that he showed any interest to me. Okay, because I'm myself. And how hard is it to believe that someone could be themselves? And then these people put that on someone else and make them feel horrible because there's insecurities. So now I feel horrible because you're making me feel like I don't deserve that person, like I'm not good enough because, oh, look at him, he's conventionally attractive compared to her. She doesn't deserve someone like that. And you put that in people's heads. Why can't people just be kind instead of sabotaging? I could have been in relationships that were sabotaged. There was one relationship that got sabotaged by some chick that ended up with him, but it didn't last, and I knew it, and they didn't last. All because she wanted to talk crap about me, which was not true. She said I was fake. Not from what I heard, but anyways. But I better go because I need to go figure out what I'm going to eat. It's getting late and I got to order something before it gets too late. But anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. Have a good day or night where you guys are. I was not talking about me. I was talking about them. Like, anytime somebody saw that someone was getting close to me or was interested in me, they tried to ruin the relationship. That's what it was. And to be honest, it was because they wanted to be with that person. It's like, well, fine, you can be with that person. I'm not fighting you for that person. I'm not going to fight someone for somebody. Have them. I'm not one of those girls that fights for a relationship like that. They were like, if they went to you and they didn't want to date me, then but they sure learned their lesson to know who was being true and who wasn't. For now, I bet you they regretting that. He's regretting that because look, he's not even with the person that manipulated him, so whatever. Talking crap, saying, oh, she literally went on a live and literally had the nerve to say that I was fake. You never met me in real life. The other girl you met in real life, so I could understand you calling her fake, but I'm not fake. You don't even know me. You just know me from social media. I'm fake because you're jealous that someone that you're trying to get with that is way younger than you, that is not even in your age range, and you're mad because he's interested in me. Girls are really weird. They're jealous. They very much are. Anyways, I better go. Have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. I need to go get something to eat or order something. So yeah. Anyways, good night, guys. Bye.